Oh, shh. We're not in the title race. All right, everyone. Welcome back to American Blues Podcast. Let's talk about Chelsea 2, Brentford 1. Number one, huge statement win. This is a team that has beaten us every single time they played us since they promoted. I think maybe we tied them once, but it's all been like convincing losses, especially at our home. This has been our bogey team. Their setup is perfectly made to nullify the way we play, and we managed to pull through. Not without some casualties, and we'll talk about at the very end, but still, a win is a win. We are now only 2 points behind Liverpool. Yes, they have a game in hand, but their game in hand is against Everton in a highly congested schedule. So it's not a guaranteed 3 points. So we just need to keep doing what we're doing, which is stay quiet, have the rest of the league ignore us, because remember, we're not in the title race. So we keep telling everybody. And meanwhile, we just need to keep getting 3 points every single game. Just only think about the next game, and that is the way to go forward. But let's talk about this game. Number one starting lineup. We had, surprisingly, a pretty shockingly weak bench for how big our team is. But man, it seems like we've actually picked up a lot of injury. Badiashile's injured. Lavia's injured. Pedro Neto was suspended for this game, I think, because he got a yellow the last one. So we were kind of short in terms of impactful subs in the midfield and defense. And we really just had Nkunku to bring on. And that was about it. So maybe a little bit nervous against Brentford, but you know what? First half, I thought we absolutely dominated them. We basically pinned them into their own half, barely gave away any good chances to them. It was really the second half when we started getting tired, and then we started to drop a little bit of confidence that Brentford actually got some luck in their attack. But first half, man, it was just all Chelsea, all going one way, and just chance after chance. And I want to highlight some players. I thought, number one, Caicedo, this game, incredible. It was back to a Caicedo Enzo midfield, and you can kind of see the downsides of it, which is if Caicedo misses that first tackle, man, we are wide open. But thankfully, he was an absolute wall in that midfield, running and covering so much ground. His timing today in terms of that first press when we lose the ball in the final third was perfect. There were countless times where Brentford were about to break, and he was the one making that key tackle. And same thing for Cucurella. His aggression, being able to play in that left inverted 8 role, means he's way high up on the pitch. He can be part of that first press in terms of getting the ball back. So between him and Caicedo, we were amazing at ball retention. And then I thought another really good highlight was Madueke. Maresca's been pretty publicly critical of him, saying, you can't drop your levels. You have to show some end product. And I thought today he did everything that we wanted him to do. He was on the right wing. He was always an option. He was always aggressive. He took his man on one-on-one. Yes, there were crosses that weren't great. That's him. That's still the inconsistent of just being such a young player. But at least he wasn't afraid to try. And then if we lost the ball, he was the one sprinting back into defense, helping out with gusto. And Madueke was absolutely key in that first goal, along with Cucurella. Got the ball on the left side. We were hitting cross after cross after cross with several good chances. One of them went to Jackson, went wide. But this one, Madueke, perfect cross to the far post. And Cucurella made an absolutely amazing run. Hit the ball perfectly into the corner. First goal, huge goal, against a team like Brentford who, their whole game is to sit back, defend, and then break on you with speed and take those chances. It's always good to get that first goal so they feel the pressure, so they have to come out a little bit and not just put 11 men behind the ball. So amazing work by Madueke and Cucurella. And I also thought Jadon Sancho on the other side, I think Jadon Sancho just doesn't lose the ball. No matter where he is on the pitch, if it's close control, whether he's running with it, whether the defender's far from him, close to him, touch tight, it doesn't matter. He just does not lose the ball. Could he have been a little bit more clinical today? Maybe. There was that one amazing chance in the second half where he basically had the keeper out of the goal. And if he just hit a better cross to that far cross, to that far post, we had 2 Chelsea players waiting to head it in. But yeah, it's fine. There were just so many of those almost moments. And then Cole Palmer, I thought he had, yes, a more quiet game, but if you look at him, he understands exactly what he needs to do wherever his position is. I think sometimes he can be a little bit less influential when he plays on that left side, but there were plenty of times where he would get the ball and he would hit that perfect progressive pass forward. And if we only just had better finishing, I think Tosin could have hit in one of his crosses from a free kick for a goal. Jackson definitely could have. There was one run where Jackson just fell over the ball for no reason in the box instead of taking a shot. And then, yeah. So I thought overall, even if Palmer has a quiet game, he's still extremely influential in terms of just his movement, his intelligence in the game, knowing what to do, where to be, how to link up play. Everything still goes through Palmer. So don't take this game as like a quiet game from it and that he doesn't show up. No, he definitely showed up today and he was very important. I thought Enzo was also very good too. There's always a question when he plays next to Caicedo, like who's going to be really defending because it's only going to be Caicedo. And I thought Enzo, for the most part, did a pretty good job. He had several good passes forward. His assist for Jackson was perfect. Caicedo won the ball, got it to him. He took the ball quick, spun around, hit a perfect cross over to Jackson, and he was able to finish. There were times where things got a little bit shaky in the second half, especially when, we were starting to lose that confidence, lose possession, and you could feel like Brentford's pressure was building. Enzo was unfortunately the one at fault for losing multiple possessions, kind of loose passes, bad tackles. But you know what? At the end of the day, we were able to hold on, which is a hell of a lot better than what we can say for the previous seasons. Now, I do have to shout out Robert Sanchez. I think he had two very important saves. One, which was offside, so it didn't end up mattering, but still, he needed to make that save when it counted. The ball just happened to go through. He ran up, made himself big, stopped the ball. Like I said, in those instances where you're never really sure if they're truly offsides or not until after the play, it's still a huge positive in my book for him to actually make the save. And of course, there was another kind of like a looping pass off of a corner or a set piece. I forgot which one. And then nobody was marking the Brentford player on our far post. And he took a really nice volley. And Sanchez had an incredible split-second reaction, push it over the bar save. Now, did we get lucky also? Yes, because that second half, man, like Brentford easily could have tied it up or possibly even won on a different day. Especially if we didn't score two, man, that game could have gone either way. There was one incredible Brentford shot that actually ended up hitting the crossbar, kind of bounced out to the ground, and then somehow did not go in. So, sometimes you do have to ride your luck in this league, especially against a team like Brentford, where they can just, they can pounce on you in a second. No matter how bad they look like they've been playing, they can still pull out a goal and a win. So I don't take any of that for granted. We ride our luck sometimes. And I thought our defense was really good until the very end, when we start to lose focus and start to feel the pressure a little bit. And that brings me to the negatives, which is number one, again, not being able to keep a clean sheet. We made it so close this game. And the way we gave up the goal, I think it's just part of the inexperience of how young this team is. We are at the end of the game. We are winning 2-0 comfortably. The last thing we need to do is give up a goal and give Brentford some hope and make the end of the game super nervous. And when that ball broke, like at least 3 Chelsea players could have just taken a yellow for the team and brought that player down and then just snuffed out that danger. And we didn't. We let them run and pass and then keep running. And then, of course, it was just one-on-one with Sanchez, and it's not really his fault that he couldn't save a one-on-one. It was a great finish. But again, game management, like that's got to be like the key takeaway from this game is that we put in the effort to get 2 really hard-earned goals. Game management. After you score those 2 goals, you have to understand how to stop fast breaks, stop them from getting a chance. If that means you take a yellow for the team, then take a yellow for the team. And then another negative, which actually turned out to be a positive, is Nicholas Jackson. Man, I think he could have had a hat trick today if he didn't miss his chances. There was one essentially open goal where Sancho got the ball, cut it back, and it was just lazy. Like he was standing in the middle of the box, had an entire goal to aim for. He barely took a back lift and just kind of like lazily hit the ball. And he didn't just miss high, he didn't just miss wide. He did both. He missed both high and wide in an open goal from like 3 yards out. That's just unacceptable, man. Unacceptable. And then second half, again, Palmer sent them through on a really good break on the left side of the box. He could have just hit it, drilled it hard across the box, and that's what you expect a like elite level striker to do. But I don't know what happened, but he miscontrolled the ball and then just fell over. But you know what? Kudos to Jackson. In previous seasons, if he had done that, everybody would have booed and we would have given up. He would have put his head down and then that would have been it. But thankfully, the good thing with Jackson is, like how strikers should be, he forgets the bad chances that he misses, because all you need is to score that one chance that you get. And so second half, when Enzo passed him that ball, there was actually a lot that he still had to do. He had a defender in front of him. He had to take a really good first touch on the right side, open up a half yard, and then really hard finish on the near post, which is not easy to do. So great on him. As for all the crap that he gets for not finishing easy chances, that one is on him. He made that goal happen. He, got that all important second goal in this game that we needed, that the entire team needed. So I have no complaints. Like Jackson, for as much as he has flaws in his game, he is clearly consistently getting better game by game. And that's all you want from a young player, is to just constantly get better and to never put your head down and get deflated and just keep going. And that's what you did. So great on him. And then final negative, which is Cucurella getting sent off after the game is done. Like, man, and that's another thing with having a really young team, is sometimes they're very volatile. The game ended. There was no reason for him to get into a shoving match with that other player, especially right in front of the ref. They literally had the ref sandwiched in between them, and they kept shoving each other around the ref. Like, what are you doing, guys? Come on. And then for him to get a yellow and sent off for that, that's so disappointing. That's a game that he's out. Thankfully, the next game is against Everton, who are just absolutely horrendous right now. So we have a good backup in Renato Vega. It'll be a really good chance for him to show off his skills on that left side. But yeah, unnecessary, especially for what I think is the best left back in the league, for someone who's so important in terms of the way we play, in terms of helping us keep possession, being aggressive, playing that, inverted left back role. Yeah, like disappointing, but you have to learn from it and move on. Yeah, what a great run of games. We are just quietly continuing our thing. I hope people keep talking about how we're not in the title race, how we're too young, how we're too inexperienced. I hope our manager and players keep giving that message, because that's all what we need to do. We need to not put too much pressure on ourselves, because we are a young team. We need to just put our heads down and collectively just decide, hey, all we need to do is focus on the next game, train hard, play hard, and then we'll see what happens. So can't wait till the next game. See you guys after that one. Peace.